Okay, today we are going to discuss about Cloudwatch. One of the most important services associated with Amazon is Cloudwatch. Cloudwatch is nothing but it is a monitoring services which is used to monitor the resources. What are all the resources that we are working with? We can able to monitor the resources. Okay. So here, not only resources, if you are running any application, you can also monitor that application performance, number of users accessing the application, and so on. So on. We can able to monitor both resources as well as application. Here, how we are making use of to monitor. For that, we need to collect certain matrices. We are making use of some monitoring matrices. So based upon that matrices only, we can able to decide what action that we need to go for. Okay, so let me take an example matrices. One such matrix is a CPU utilization in one matrix. So you are going to monitor a EC2 instance. Okay, so for CPU utilization. So here you are going to set certain conditions here. Okay, the condition that you need to set is through alarm, CloudWatch alarm. Okay, the CloudWatch alarm is a condition setting actionator. Okay, once what condition that you are going to set? If the average CPU utilization of the CC2 instance is greater than 95% for continuously for 1 hour or for continuously for 2 hours, then you need to take certain action. The action, this is the condition. Both condition and action need to be specified in the alarm only. Okay, you want to create an alarm. So, and you want to specify a threshold condition. Once the threshold has been reached, the action needs to be initiated. What action needs to be initiated? You can initiate any one of these actions. Okay, you can send invoke a notification, SMS notification, indicating that the CPU is overloaded. So, as a subsequent, you can also invoke another options. Whenever you feel that the machine is lagging from CPU, you can instruct to add additional CPU. You can instruct to add additional resources. So these are all the actions that you can invoke. Okay, either a SMS notification or adding or removing of resources. Okay, so here, by the way, you can able to handle the increased workload. Imagine now you are so you have now two CPUs. Okay, you have now two CPUs, CPU one, two servers. Let me make it to two servers, CPU one and server one and server two. So here you are once again monitoring this CPU utilization. So here the average CPU. Here you want to monitor another metrics called as average CPU utilization. If it is a single server, then CPU utilization. If you have multiple servers, that you want to find out whether these two servers are handling the load in an efficient manner, or whether we have overloaded or underloaded like this scenario. So if the average CPU utilization, if it is less than 40% or if it is less than 45%. So what it shows? It shows that if it is less than 40% instance, each 40-40, which is equivalent to only our workload is currently 80%. In this sense, one server is sufficient enough. You no need to have additional server. So what you can do? You can set an alarm. The alarm will look for this average CPU utilization of these two servers. If the average CPU utilization comes down to 80%, then you can initiate an action, a scale down action. Okay, so this is the way by which you can relieve the underutilized resources using this CloudWatch monitoring matrices. Okay, so these are all the some of the basic things associated with this Amazon CloudWatch. How you can access? Once again, you can make use of any one of the following modes. Either you can go for a controlled based access. Usually, you can able to access based upon this Amazon control. You can make use of CLI command line interface. Okay, for this you need to install one utility for CloudWatch. You can make use of this API, Cloudwatch APIs and Amazon software development kits. These are all some of the resources associated. What are all the services you can associate CloudWatch? You can associate CloudWatch with SNS, as I told. You can associate CloudWatch with ELB, Elastic Load Balancer. You can associate CloudWatch with EC2. In this sense, what you can do, if you feel you have an Elastic Load Balancer, users are sending the request to the corresponding ELB server. The ELB server will distribute the request across these multiple servers. If you want to monitor what is the response time, if the response time, if the user send a request and if the response time is more, it indicates that these two servers which is coming under ELB is overloaded. So these are all the metrics that we can monitor. If response time is greater than 2 nanoseconds or 3 nanoseconds, it indicates the server is overloaded. And you can add an additional server to the existing cluster. So similarly, you can do any sort of metrics monitoring using CloudWatch in the above set associated ELB, EC2. You can also work with this auto scaling in this example. Okay, so you can make use of CloudWatch to monitor the user activity in IAM. We'll be discussing this IAM in a tomorrow session. Identity and access management. Okay, which is used to access the resources in a well-defined manner. Okay, in a well-structured manner, well-organized manner. So these are all the ways by which you can make use of this CloudWatch. Next. How to the overall architectural diagram. Okay, how you can integrate all the above set things. Here you have Amazon AWS CloudWatch service. Okay, you will be defining some matrices here, some CPU matrices, memory matrices, load balancing matrices, etc. We have several matrices. Okay, here the CloudWatch is used to monitor resource. The resource may be any resource that you can specify. The CloudWatch is used to monitor the resource. Okay, here you can specify our own matrices. Custom defined matrices also be specified, or you can make use of predefined. So the thing that we are discussing is predefined. In terms of matrices has been concerned, there are two types of matrices. One, predefined, which is defined by Amazon itself. Second, custom defined. You can define your own matrices. I will let you know how to define our own matrices. Okay, it will monitor the resources. Okay, it will monitor based upon you want to set a alarm. The alarm, whenever the alarm, we have three states. So we have a condition here, threshold condition. So when the condition has been met out, you will invoke a action. Okay, you can invoke a auto scaling action, or you can invoke a notification action. These are all the actions whenever the alarm threshold has been reached. Okay, so here the alarm can be in three states. One is alarm okay, another one is alarm, another one is insufficient. These are all the three states. If the resources does not provide the needed information input to this alarm, then it will be in insufficient state. Okay, if the alarm is set, then it will be in okay state. If the threshold condition reaches, for example, if CPU, the condition here says greater than 95%, then if the CPU is sending these matrices to this CloudWatch and that condition is said to be okay, everything is perfect. Whenever that CPU resource utilization is greater than 95%, the status will become alarm. Once the status will become alarm, this action will be initiated. What action that we have specified, that action can be initiated. Okay, so you can able to monitor all those things using AWS console. What are all the activity that is going on? Else, what you can do under AWS console, you can create a dashboard. I will let you know how to create a dashboard. The dashboard, this dashboard, you can have all the above set Cloudwatch. You can set a dashboard to display the CPU utilization at one part, and memory utilization is another part. How much of traffic that is coming in, traffic in and traffic out. So similarly, you can set multiple alarm, you can monitor multiple resources, and you can able to display all those things under a single dashboard. So a single point of view, you can able to modify, you can able to monitor multiple resources. Okay, so these are all the way by which your CloudWatch works. Here we want to come across certain terms in CloudWatch. So one such term is namespace, which is nothing but a container which is used to collect the matrices associated. Okay, to come across with this matrix, but then you come across with this system statistics, and you come across with this alarm. These are all the primary building blocks. What is namespace? Namespace is nothing but a container. Okay, which is used to gather the CloudWatch matrices. For example, you have two instances, EC2 1, EC2 two instances. One instance is a web server. You have configured a web server. Another instance that you have configured as a database server. So our web server, you are monitoring the network traffic that is coming in. Okay, what is the network traffic? That is user request. In this case, let me make a sense. User request that is coming in, the CPU percentage of utilization. These are all the two matrices that you are monitoring. Whereas for database server, you are monitoring this hard disk and RAM memory. Okay, what is the RAM capacity used and what is the used space and free space for both the hard disk and RAM memory. So here, in this sense, if you want to monitor these above two matrices and to gather the matrices, you will be having a separate namespace. Namespace 1 for EC2, that is your web server, and you may have a namespace 2 for your EC2 instance, that is your database server. So all the associated matrices with respect to this web server will be stored in this particular namespace 1. So there won't be no aggregation. The statistics gathered is specific to web server will be stored in namespace 1 in an isolated manner from that of namespace 2. Okay. So here, these are all the ways by which we can gather statistics associated with the concerned server. Okay. You are already aware of matrices. Okay, matrices like CPU utilization, traffic input, output. These are all the matrices. Okay, when you create a matrix, you can also make use of the Amazon specific matrix, or you can send your own custom matrices to CloudWatch. Okay, so if you create a matrix, the matrix will be there in the region that you have created up to 15 months. The matrix will be available up to 15 months. After that, it will be expired. Okay, so this is the limited for the matrices that you have created. So you know metrics, you know the next thing, you know this statistics. Okay, so the statistics is nothing but whether you want to find out this minimum CPU utilization, you want to find out this maximum CPU utilization of the resource, whether average CPU utilization. Okay, like minimum, maximum. If you want to find out the sum of total resources consumed. Okay, so these are all the things. Okay, the sample count is another matrices. So these are all some of the statistics associated with gathering the matrices. Finally, alarm. Alarm is nothing but the action that it need to invoke. Okay, so what action that it need to invoke that can be set on this alarm. So alarm will watches over a single matrices over a specific time period. So when you set an alarm in terms of CloudWatch, we can able to configure alarm in such a manner to monitor the resources 5 minutes once or to monitor the resources 1 minute once. Okay. So this comes under this is the default monitoring period. If you don't set a Cloudwatch, then the default monitoring period will be 5 minutes watch. Okay. Whereas if you set this Cloudwatch with this advanced option, we may call this as a detailed monitoring option. The monitoring interval will be 1 minute once. Kindly make a note. These are all interview specific questions. Okay. So the resources will be monitored by Cloudwatch for every 1 minute. Okay. So these are all some of the things that you should aware of for Cloudwatch. Okay. Then let me start with the Cloudwatch. How to create a Cloudwatch? How to make a monitoring a matrices using a simple thing. How to set up a alarm. So that we have discussed this SNS already, notification service. So both Shanmughan sir, Subramanian sir, yes. Okay. Yeah, I have shown to you how to create a notification. Okay, so yes, that we create another notification, connect with the AWS. Connect with AWS Management Console. Okay, so go to this services, SNS, Simple Notification Services, which is coming under messaging service, Simple Notification Service. Click on this SNS. Here in SNS, you want to do 3 things. Okay, first you want to create a topic, then you want to create a subscription for the topic, then next you want to publish a message. If it is an email, then you can publish a message. If you want to go up with the SMS, you can do it separately using publish text message. Okay, so let me first create a topic. These are all already created topics. We have already topics SMI and through. Let me remove those topics. Go to action, delete topics. Okay, if you are not needed anymore, you can delete those topics. Let me create a new topic first. Create a topic. So it prompts you for a topic name. Okay, which is nothing but a unique ID. Let me make it as CPU alert. The topic may be a CPU alert. Okay, the display name. Under which the same CPU underscore alert. Let me create a topic. The topic has been created. Okay, so you look into this topic. Click on this is the topic name that is assigned. Okay, next what you need to do, you want to create a subscription. Okay. You want to create a subscription. The subscription is nothing but to which user that messages associated with this particular topic need to be sent. Okay, you want to specify the email ID, that is the subscription. Create subscription. Okay, so let me make this Amazon topic name. You just make use of this. This is the topic name that you are aware. Okay, this is the ARN associated with CPU alert is the Amazon ARN. Okay, let me create a subscription. Being you are going to make use of the endpoint, let us specify a Raman Sriranga at gmail.com. You want to specify a ARN for the topic. Okay. Why it is not listing? It should list. The ARN need to be list. Okay, click on that. Let me create a subscription. Automatically, okay, you can do it like this. So go to topic and it will list you the topic here. Click on this ARN under which you can create a subscription. Okay, automatically the topic ARN will be assigned here. So since we are going to send an email, click on email here. Then the endpoint. If you have multiple mail address, it need to be separated with comma as a separator. Here, Raman Sriranga. Let me first start with one thing at Gmail. Let me create a subscription. Step 2. Okay. Then what we need to publish, that information need to be specified here. While creating the subscription, the concerned user to which you are going to publish this message need to confirm, I am ready to receive the subscription. In this sense, I create a subscription to Raman Sriranga at gmail.com. Therefore, what I need to do, I want to make a login into my email and I want to click on confirm the subscription. So I am ready to receive. I am willing to receive the message from AWS. If that particular user doesn't confirm the subscription, then topic can't be able to push to that particular user. You can find the topic name, CPU alert, and here AWS notification, subscription confirmation. Click on this, then you just click on this URL, confirm subscription. Once the subscription has been confirmed, you can here receive this message in your SNS. Okay, the pending confirmation will be now linked to the ARN. If you simply click on this refresh, you can find the ARN of that associated topic that is mapped if the particular target audience confirms the subscription. Okay, next what you need to do, you have created a topic, you have created a subscription, you want to publish to the topic, you want to specify the message. Once again, the message CPU alert. Okay, so here the message can be of two format, either a normal text format or a JSON format. Okay, you can make use of this default raw format. So the subject will be CPU utilization alert. Okay, let me make it to CPU utilization. This is the subject that will be displayed. Here you can specify CPU utilization greater than 95%. Okay, this is the message that need to be pushed. Okay, so let me click on publish message. That's all. So once the message has been published, automatically to the email that is associated with this message, that is topic, the information will be published. Okay, so let me click on the Google. Now you can find alert, CPU utilization alert. This is the manual way of publishing. Now what we are going to do, we are going to attach this metrics to a running instance, and we are going to instruct this Cloudwatch to monitor the instance, and once a particular condition has been met out, the alert need to be displayed. This is the CPU utilization alert. Okay, so this is the way by which you can create a notification, and you can specify the message that need to be notified, and you can push the notification to the concerned people. Now let me associate with the Cloudwatch. Okay, first go to service, click on any EC2 instance. So you have two running instances. You have a web server 1 and demo Ubuntu, which is running in North Virginia. Let me set a alarm for that. Okay, let me choose this web server 1. Go to action. Let me invoke Cloudwatch monitoring. Else you can directly invoke Cloudwatch monitoring tag, which is coming under here. Okay, so if you choose this corresponding EC2 and choose the monitor, you can find that you have a Cloudwatch yet alarm yet to be configured. These are all the matrices associated with this Cloudwatch. CPU utilization currently is in 0.03%. Okay, the disk read, disk write, and how much of traffic that is coming in. Okay, network traffic in, network traffic out, everything will be displayed. Okay. Now we are going to set this CPU utilization. If you want to view the Cloudwatch matrices, so the matrices has been associated with the following thing. Okay, so yeah, matrix will look like for that. You have around 469 matrices for the Cloudwatch matrices. Application level, and then EBS elastic block store. Then you have EC2 matrix, EMR matrix, S3 matrix, SNS. These are all the Cloudwatch matrices associated with this. For example, in case of if you go for EC2, so you click on this EC2 matrix, you can find network traffic in. This is the machine currently that it is running. If I want to observe the network traffic or CPU utilization of the machine, simply I want to click on this. It will show you the opposite matrices in a graph. What is the utilization of CPU? Percentage of CPU utilization for this instance. The statistics is average CPU utilization. Okay. Then the time period which is monitoring is being it is a default monitoring. Then the time period is 5 minutes. Here the statistics will reveal you the result of for the past 3 hours. If you want to reveal the result for past 12 hours, you can change the frequency. What is the utilization for the past? For the past 1 day utilization. Similarly, for the past 1 hour utilization. So these are all the time interval that you can go for. You can go for this various representation in terms of graph. What is the CPU utilization? Average CPU utilization for past 3 hours. For the past 1 hour. Since I didn't use anything, it shows this. Okay. These are all the various options using which you can able to identify. So here, what we are going to do? So we are going to check out this CPU utilization. So for this particular machine, let me check this CPU utilization. For that, what we are going to do? We are going to create an alarm. Okay, we are going to create an alarm for that. So how to create an alarm? Okay, so you want to move down. Go to alarm. Let me create an alarm. So what alarm that we are going to create? We are going to create an alarm for EC2. Therefore, click on EC2. per instance metrics. So let me click on what are all the instances currently running. So you want to look into this instance ID. Let me check with this instance ID. First, create alarm. First, let me create an alarm to send a notification. So once you click on this alarm, first you can specify two options. Either you can specify a notification or you can specify an action. Okay, let me do both the things. So send a notification. So what is notification? The notification is the CPU alert. To whom the notification need to be sent? For Raman Sriranga. Okay, if you have multiple SNS topics, those topics will be listed here. Then what action that you need to initiate? So here, if you feel that the CPU utilization is very less, you are instructing to stop the instance. Let me stop the instance. Okay, so whenever, what is the condition that you need to set? Whenever the average of CPU utilization is less than, let me make it 0.01 percentage. Let me make it the condition 0.01 percentage average CPU utilization for at least 5 minutes. Okay, since you are invoking the default monitoring, the interval period will be 5 minutes for consecutively for 5 minutes. If the average CPU utilization, if it is less than, okay, or equal to 0.01 percentage, else we can make it if it is less than 10 percentage utilization, so it will be easy for you, okay, to recognize. If it is less than CPU utilization, if it is less than 10 percentage, okay, then what action? Current CPU utilization, it shows the current CPU utilization, it is in the almost nearer to 0.3 percentage, which is the current utilization. If it is less than 10 percentage, you are instructing to stop the instance. Okay, let me create an alarm for this instance. Close. For this web server, we have created this alarm. So go to this Cloudwatch. Let me monitor the alarm. Go to Cloudwatch. Click on this alarm. Now you can find one alarm that you have created. The CPU utilization is less than. It shows that it is having insufficient data. That means the data for that alarm is not received by the instance. These are all the statistics associated. Now we can find the alarm state reaches from insufficient to alarm. The red alarm is showing. Okay, so it shows that here the condition that we have set here, the condition that we have set for your alarm is this is the current CPU utilization. Okay, the current CPU utilization currently here 0.66 percentage at the following time. Now the current CPU utilization currently is 0.032 percentage. So it checks for this alarm continuously for 5 minutes. If the utilization is less, automatically the alarm action will be invoked. So what action that we have specified? Once the alarm action has been reached, whenever the condition has been reached, automatically it will down the instance. Okay, let me check the instance. the instance will be starting shutting down. The running instance, you can find the instance got stopped. I didn't stop the instance. Whenever you can find the alarm status. Whenever the alarm status. So these are all the examples which is used to stop the ideal instance. If the instance is not working, then you no need to pay for that instance. So if you set a condition like that, what happened here in this case? If any ideal instance, if it is not working for a certain period of time, will be automatically down. You can also receive a notification. Click on your Gmail. You can find the notification. Alarm notification received at 7:70. Okay. So alarm for ICP utilization in the following machine. Okay. This is the alarm detail. This is created from a EC2 instance. This is the alarm condition. Okay, the matrices monitored is CPU utilization. The alarms first it was initially insufficient data. Laterly, the alarm once the threshold has been reached, the action has been initiated. Okay, this is the way. What time the threshold reaches, everything will be displayed along with this message. By looking into this alarm, you can able to find out what is the root cause and what action has been initiated like this. This is the way by which you can create a alarm and set the action to the alarm. You can associate this alarm to ELB, to auto scaling, and so on so on. This is the dashboard. Okay, you can add this alarm, you can add these matrices into this dashboard. Create dashboard. The dashboard name, let me make it to true. Let me create a dashboard. No, we can make use of only the monitoring tool associated with Amazon. You can't make use of another tool, third party tool. Okay, you can specify the widget. So now you have created a dashboard, through dashboard. Okay, so under this dashboard you can able to add multiple matrices. So how to add a matrix, how to configure, we will discuss. We are going to add this following matrices. What are all the matrices? What are all the options that is available? How to choose a matrix? Everything that we will discuss. So now today's discussion is going to be with how to create an alarm and how to set an alarm. Okay, and by invoking this alarm, what action will be initiated. Once this alarm, you can find out the history of alarm. It is the time that you have set out. Initially, being it is in initial state, the alarm state is insufficient. Then laterly, and once the condition has been met out, so you can find the alarm action has been completed successfully, and as a result, a notification has been sent, and what condition that we have specified, that machine got down. Okay, these are all the ways by which you can able to specify the alarm. There are several ways by which you can create alarms, multiple alarms. We will discuss both things one by one. If you want to create a alarm for S3, so click on that is at the back end. So this is the service at the front end. They provide us the name of the monitoring tool as a Cloudwatch. They may use own proprietary tools. They may not go for any third-party tools. Amazon may develop their own tools, and they make use of their own monitoring services. They won't go for a third-party like Nagios like this. They will be having their own services. If you click on the storage matrices, you can find the storage matrices. So number of objects. We have this. These are all the buckets. Okay, we have a bucket by name test bucket. We have EMR bucket. If we click on this number of objects in the bucket, how many objects each and every time if an object is uploaded, whether we need to create an alarm or light, we can able to specify here. Or if a number of objects exceeds this particular time, let me create an alarm for this. Let me create a through bucket alarm. Whenever the number of objects, for example, greater than 2, okay, for continuous period. So what action that you need to invoke? So you want to invoke the particular action. Okay, send a notification. You have currently 2 objects or 3 objects. Like you can specify if the number of objects increases to 100, then you can set an alarm which specifies that the number of objects reaches the particular thing. Okay, so what action whenever you have the 3 states as I told, one is insufficient, another if everything is perfect, the state is okay, and whenever the condition has been reached, now it becomes a state is alarm. Okay, so whenever you have this, you are indicating to send a notification. The notification to this SNS topic. Okay, let me create a alarm. What is the name of the bucket? Test 66 is the name of the bucket. Let me go to S3, click on this S3. In this, you can find the test 66. If it is containing more than one object, the alarm will be activated. Test 66. Already you have 2 objects. Let me load another object, upload, add files. Okay, let me add this small file, start upload. Now you have 3 objects in test 66. So the condition has been met. Then automatically, if you find that, the alarm will be go to Cloudwatch and look into this alarm condition. You can find initially the alarm, the second alarm, through bucket alarm. So this is the dashboard that I had had. Okay, through bucket, the number of object is through. If the number of object is greater than or equal to 2, so what action is invoked? It need to invoke a notification. Okay, let me refresh this. So it took some time. The alarm condition to be updated. Now it is containing insufficient. The alarm state need to change into alarm. Okay. Once it changes into alarm, what happened here in this case? A notification will be issued. Let me check whether we have any notification. Yes. Okay. Since we have uploaded a third object, alarm through bucket, this notification is invoked. Okay. This is the way you can send the notification. You can set the notification and accordingly Okay, so this insufficient data is for CPU utilization. This alarm is for through bucket. You can find the condition set for the through bucket. The threshold crosses. So the threshold is saying that number of object greater than equal to. So since we have uploaded once this condition has been met, send a message to CPU alert. So being the condition as the threshold has been crossed, notification has been sent. This is the way by which you can create alarm and you can associate the alarm with the instance or with the bucket or anything. Okay. So with this, we can conclude today's session. We can have discussion on this particular topic, notification services, by associating with elastic load balancer and auto scaling. How to make it auto scale up and scale down. How to associate with some other services, we will be discussing. Okay, so I was almost late. I conclude today's session. If you have any doubt, we can make it on tomorrow. No issue. Thank you.